hello. We're going to start in just a minute or so. And if you're just tuning in, whether you're on Facebook Live or on Zoom, come into the chat down below and let me know what inspired you for showing up for today. What inspired you to find out about how to engage better with your audience when you're giving a webinar or if you're in person giving a workshop? We're going to be focusing mainly on webinars, but these also work for in-person workshops as well. So come into the chat and let me know what inspired you for showing up today. I would love to hear. And you'll see I have some a festive background here, and that's because last night we had our graduation in our Workshops Done Academy. So we meet every single week for group live calls. And so we celebrated last night. And then today I did a Facebook Live to celebrate the end of my March daily walking challenge as well. So I thought I'll just keep the streamers up for a little bit longer. So I had a glass of champagne. Well, it was sparkling water with a little kombucha, so it looked like champagne. So it's great. So hi, Monica, nice to see you. So let me know what inspired you for showing up for today. So we are going to be talking about engagement. So if you're on Zoom, come into the chat and make sure to select all panelists and attendees if you want everyone to see your answer. Right now, I'm just getting I think everyone just went to me so far, but people are just saying, yeah, I want to know how to keep people's attention, right? That is a big deal, and how to help them to stay on to the very end. I think that's a really big question that a lot of us have. The average attention span is 8 seconds. Microsoft did research on that. So for us, we need to constantly be engaging with the people online with us so we can say, hey, this is what, I have this question, so that they know that you are coming in. So yeah, so let's see. Inspiration for attending, she says her Facebook group is filled with non-responsive people. Perhaps they are corpses. I don't know, it's bad, LOL. Well, you know what? Facebook groups are another beast, and some of this is going to be able to go over because you can use these questions in your Facebook Lives. But Facebook has algorithms. They love live video. So as much as you can go live, that's going to help bring it up. So I'm just going to get started here. And so if you're watching the replay, come into the comments and just say replay so I know that you're watching it. But it is absolutely essential to engage with your audience during in-person or virtual workshops. So especially when you're running a webinar, it's not always easy encouraging that engagement and an interaction because they're sitting in front of their most distracting piece of equipment, right? Their computer. And then they usually have their phone and their iPad. There might be some other things around. So we need to be able to ask questions so that they feel like they are a part of it. We can personalize that experience for them. So a webinar is not a lecture, right? A webinar is to communicate with that audience and to actually get new information, to say, why are you here? Let me know, so then you can switch it up as you go. So in our little, live 20 minutes that we have together, I have you covered with lots of ideas. So this is definitely a little live webinar that you need to pay attention to. Have a notebook out, write some of these ideas and questions down so that you can use them in your Facebook Lives, you can use them in posts, you can use them in your live webinars. So if you're just tuning in and we haven't met yet, I am Lori Kampa. I am a certified integrative health coach, yoga instructor, and business coach. So my business is Mindful Health, and I also have Workshops Done Academy for health coaches. So I would love to hear from you. What inspired you for showing up to the workshop today? What inspired you to find out more about engagement with your audience? Why is that important to you? And you're seeing, I'm asking you to give me intel about yourself so I can say certain things that speak right to you, right? The Facebook quote, that wasn't part of what I was going to talk about, but I love that I know that that's a concern, so then I can bring that up. So first of all, you always need to kick things off with a fun question. So the reason why we want to kick it off with a fun question is because you want to say, like, hey, look below if you're on Zoom. Do you see the chat button? I want you to tell me, where are you tuning in from today? Post your name and where you're tuning in from, or whatever question inspires you. But this is also some time to help people get logged on, right? People take about 2 to 5 minutes to really, when they come on in, so they come in at different times. So you might need to repeat that question again and just say, hey, welcome. If you're just joining me, please let me know, where you're tuning in from today. Come into the chat. It's right down below. If you're on Facebook Live, please come into the comments and I'll be checking there soon. So these are some housekeeping notes to let them know that you want to hear from them. So you might want to send in, you can type your question into the chat as well. If you have a lot of people attending, then they can see as they are coming in what that first question is. But it's fun and it's easy, and they learn how to do that live chat. And we need to be engaging to really hook your audience in that first 5 to 10 seconds. So this interaction is not just about you, right? It's about the fellow audience members as well, so that they are chatting with each other and they have that sense of community, that they're not the only one that wants to kick sugar. They're not the only ones that are here to reduce stress, right? So think about how you feel. When you are listening to a webinar, you're hearing a presentation, and someone says your name, so if someone says, Monica, thank you so much for being here today, and I'm so glad we're connecting. How does that feel when you hear your name and that they can say, okay, she hears me, she sees me? So Rebecca is here and she says, I'm thinking about your workshop STEM program, just checking you out. Okay, welcome, Rebecca. Let me know if you want a one-on-one call. I would love to talk with you personally. So it's hard sometimes when you're on Facebook Live and you're on a webinar, you have to keep going back and forth with the different chats, but it is possible to do that. So hello, Denny, I see you. She says, plus people are still figuring out Zoom and other video chats. But what I have found during this pandemic, more people than ever are familiar with Zoom. I remember first teaching all my senior ladies from my yoga class about Zoom, and now every week when I have that class, there's no issues. People are getting to be better about where to do things. Yeah, I believe the webinar is real and not a recording. Yeah, so when you can, I always say record, because a lot of people can't attend live. So you want to have it recorded, and a Facebook Live will automatically record and then have it saved in your group. So it saves you some time, but also when we are on live, there's more value to that, right? So we want to have that live experience so we can ask those questions and we can respond to them right away. So I like to start off with, in the beginning, what inspired you to show up for this workshop today? Where are you tuning in from? If it's like my sugar one, talk about kicking sugar. People love talking about their favorite sugary cereal when they were a kid. So just come into the chat or Facebook Live. Let me know, what was your favorite sugary cereal that you had as a kid? I think mine was Captain Crunch and Cocoa Puffs, right? It brings like this happiness to you that you think about. Or maybe if it's my Stress Busters workshop, I might ask them about, what's your go-to self-care activity? For me, it's practicing yoga and taking walks outside. For you, is it taking baths? Is it going to get massages, which I just had an hour massage last week and it was amazing. If it's about detoxing, I'm going to ask them, have you done a detox before? If yes, what kinds have you done? So think about, in Workshop STEM Academy, they have about 35 questions to choose from. But you can think about, what are the problems that you are solving in this workshop? Because when you can ask a question, you're not just getting engagement, but you're getting intel, so you can personalize your experience. So think about, when you're listening, just write down, what are the favorite questions that you get asked, and what ones resonate with you. So I want to hear from you guys right now in the comments with a big yes. are you excited as I am to share some of my favorite questions during a webinar? So what I just did, and I know this is like a quickie, so I'm not able to really spread the questions out, but what I'm doing is I'm saying, are you excited as I am? Let's hear a yes in the comments if you are. You know, are you excited as I am to kick sugar? Are you excited as I am to learn stress reducing, you know, activities? Come up with an action plan. Are you excited as I am to find out and to hear some of these engaging questions? So what you're doing is when you ask yes, when you ask questions that you know that they're going to say yes, you're actually doing a trial close. And if anyone's familiar with a trial close, let me know. This has been around for a long, long time. So I've learned this in my sales classes and psychology classes in college. When we do a trial close, we're psychologically telling them yes, 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 right? So when you're in person, sometimes I have them raise their hand or nod their head. It doesn't need to be that they type it. We want them to say it or type it or believe it, something so that they resonate with that word yes. So, you know, to say, let's see, can you see how powerful this strategy is for curbing your sweet cravings? Let me know. Type yes in the comments if you do. Let me know if you feel that this strategy is powerful, right? And so a lot of people are going to be saying, yes, 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 it is powerful, right? And it's a way to transition into your sales. So I'm just going to come into the chat. And a lot of times when you're on a webinar, I believe, you know, you don't always have the Facebook Live going at the exact same time. So you can just focus just on your attendees. So Gwen, hello, you are here on Facebook Live. I'm so happy you are here. She says, oh, I'm just going to quickly divert to Gwen's comment. She said, because of your encouragement, I got my new Facebook group created at 1 a.m. Yes, in Workshops Done Academy, it's all about accountability and setting goals. So Gwen said she was going to get that done for her migraine group. She's looking to do Facebook lives this afternoon or tomorrow morning to invite people to join and then to lead to the workshop on detox for beginners. Yay, Gwen. Like everybody just put your hands up. Yeah, and Gwen saying, yeah, absolutely. She gets it. Train people to say yes and to click. So it's really easy to do these yes questions throughout it. So some ones that I like to say is, are you feeling a sense of relief? You know, now that you don't have to stay powerless to these sweet treats, you know, are you feeling the sense of relief? Now that you know you don't have to stay powerless to sweet treats, give me a yes if you agree. I usually like to say the question twice. And if you don't think that you're going to remember these questions, when I first started out, I would put questions in my PowerPoint slides. So then I wouldn't forget to do that. And about every 10 minutes, you should have a question to engage. But when you have them too close together, they're like, I'm not sure which question I'm going to be answering, right? So for this today, we're just doing this short live. But you can see, like, can you see how powerful this strategy is for whatever your workshop is? Can you see how powerful this strategy is for this? Give me a yes in the comments if you do. One thing that I love to say at the very end is, you know, you give all your tips about kicking sugar, or you give all your tips for busting stress, or how to detox your body for beginners. So for example, Gwen's going to be doing detoxing your body for beginners. It's also detox secrets. So at the end, Gwen, you can say, isn't it exciting when you finally get to see how this all comes together? If you agree, give me a yes in the comments. And I want to give you a special invitation to my detox for migraine sufferers, or whatever your program is going to be called, Gwen. I know you're specializing in migraines and detoxing. So think about, what are the transitions when you're giving a free workshop or a free webinar? Most people will understand that you're going to be offering an opportunity for them to go deeper with you. For me, I like to have transparency, and I like to say it at the beginning to let them know that At the end, there's going to be an opportunity for some live Q&A and an opportunity to learn more about working with me. So I also love just to talk about if something resonates with them. You know, if this resonates with you, give me a yes. Or if this sounds like you, give me a yes. If you can relate to this, give me a yes in the comments. Or if you're feeling this, give me a yes in the comments. So I want you to see, you know, how this selling strategy keeps the audience engaged is throughout the entire webinar. So let me know, do you see how powerful this is? So give me a yes in the comments. But these strategies make the transition. See, sometimes you just have your words don't come out, and that's okay. People are not expecting you to be perfect. What people are expecting you is to be genuine and to speak from your heart and with love. So when you make the transition to the selling phrase of your promotional webinar, it makes it more natural and it makes it more seamless. So you're getting those affirmative responses that your attendees are constantly saying yes. So I also think, you know, when people use polls and surveys, those are really useful. I don't use them myself that often, but I do like participating in them. So if that's something that you want to do, and it does help get a lot more intel. So if you ask a question about, you know, who here drinks soda every single day, then you can see how many people drink diet soda, how many people drink regular soda, how many people don't. So you know who's on live with you, so you can talk about those people. If you have hardly any soda drinkers, then maybe you won't talk about it as much. If you have a lot of Coke drinkers or Diet Coke, you might emphasize different things. And then at the end of your webinar, you always want to end strong and think about your call to action. I always have a very clear call to action so people know exactly what you want them to do. If it's going to be with a webinar, I always like to have all my links and everything all in like a Word document so I can just copy and paste it and put it in the Facebook Live. I can put it in the Zoom link so that people can know, oh, I need to click on this link. And then I can go and join that detox program. I can go and join this sugar group program, different things like this. So, you know, if you liked what we talked about today and you want to go deeper, I would like to invite you to my detox program. Or maybe it's going to be, I want to invite you to a free health coach discovery session or breakthrough session. You know, I have a limited number of spots reserved over the next 2 weeks to have these free sessions. So if this is something you're interested in, here's here's the link to sign up. Or if you're in person, I have a form that people fill out on a clipboard, and that clipboard is going around with the open dates for the next 1 or 2 weeks. So decide, you know, if it's going to be a group program, if it's going to be your health coaching program, whatever it is, know what the next step that you want to take them. So to get us started, you know, at the end, I always say, okay, it's time for Q&A. And I always like to say, to get us started, let me answer a few questions that I get asked quite often about my health coaching program, or I get asked quite often about my detox program, or whatever you are promoting. And then you could say, you know, I'm answering these first few questions. Please type your questions into the chat. So if you have a question about engagement, please put that into the chat on Zoom or on Facebook Live, because I'm going to be checking that over shortly. But when I have a program, a lot of times I get the question, like for my Whole Foods cleanse, am I going to be hungry? And so when you can start off with a common question, then they say, oh, I get what she's trying to ask me. She's asking for common questions, objections. You're trying to say, what is your objection? And let me see if I can solve that for you. You know, you're going to probably have, you know, when does your program start and finish? How do I know if I'm the right person for this program? And then you can describe the type of person that you're looking for. For me, my group cleanse is for beginners. So I am actually not looking for athletes. I'm not looking for somebody who wants to do a complete juice cleanse, right? So I say who I'm looking for, but I also say who it's not right for, so that they understand that I'm talking to them. So then when you're all done, make sure to keep, promote your offer then by email, however you want to focus on that. But the warmer your audience, the more likely that they're going to purchase that product, right? And webinars and workshops are the #1 way to grow your email list, but it's also the fastest way for people to get to know you, to like you, to trust you. And that trust factor comes in that maybe you're giving this workshop and you say, hey, and I'm going to be following up with some sample recipes for my detox. It's going to be in your email, in the next hour. And then you can say in your email, as promised, here this is, right? And then they come and they take your program and they see you're offering more than what you'd said you would. So it's wonderful for that. Okay, Gwen is saying she did name her Facebook, I Quit Migraines Tribe. Oh, that's what you said you were going to do last night. I love it. I love it. And let me just see if I can see any more. The thing about Facebook Live, when you're going in, you don't always see all the comments. You just see some of them. So if you have a question on Facebook Live, please post it in there again so I can see it. But I'm just going to be wrapping up here. So if you have any questions, please let me know and I am happy to answer them. And I just want to let you know, I have a live Workshops Done Academy open enrollment 3 times a year. So we just finished the winter class and the spring class is going to be kicking off next month. So I'm going to be doing my free webinars on April, let's see, I think it's 13th and 14th. And that's going to be how to thrive as a health coach with virtual workshops. So what's the secret sauce of everything? Because I did it accidentally. I didn't realize what I was doing by starting out with workshops, that I don't have to sell to find health coaching clients, because they will come to me and ask what my availability is if we feel like we are a good team together. So Workshops Done Academy, the next, so it will open and enroll on April 13th and we kick off on April 23rd. And then the next class after that will be in October. So it's going to be a while. You're always able to go through Workshops Done, but it's really nice to have these bonus weekly live calls. And we go through it as a team, and it's usually about 15 to 20 students. So it's nice and small. We get to know each other and we have accountability pods. So it's wonderful that you are going through each module together, where you learn step by step every aspect that you need to grow your list, how to book with the corporations, how to do virtual webinars, in-person webinars, and all the done for you materials that saves you so much time. So I hope that you guys will consider that. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to do just a one-on-one call with you just to see if it's right for you. And I'm always honest. If I feel like it's not a good fit for somebody, I will absolutely let you know, because I want to make sure that we are a good fit, that it will make a difference in your business. But thank you guys so much for being here today. And next Wednesday, every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Central Time, I'm here with a live. And if you have any comments about what you want to hear, please let me know, and I'm happy to respond to that. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.